Guys, can we talk about Kit Connor? Hi Slayers, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eileen, and in today's video I am going to be putting some songs on my iPod, and I'm really excited to do this. I hope we can just like chat and have a good time while I'm doing the very long process of finding the songs, ripping the songs, putting them into iTunes, downloading it off iTunes. So the songs I want to put on here are Heartstopper related because Heartstopper is my current obsession and I love this Netflix show so much. Hopefully you know of it because if you're on this channel, you know, you should be a little. And it's such a super cute show about a bunch of queer love stories, and you should definitely go watch it. And of course, I want to put some songs on there that remind me of it and put it on my iPod so I can carry it around with me. So before we get started, I did want to note something. My iPod actually has a display defect on it now, which is really sad. Like there's a line that's going through the screen and I'm super sad about it, but it still works. So, you know, it should be okay. And, you know, maybe it's time for me to get a new one. Okay, so I have my MacBook and I have my iPod, of course, and the charger, and also this dongle. What a word. And so I'm just going to plug in the charger. Okay, I'm hoping this feels very Y2K because I feel very Y2K. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start by pulling up this list of all of the Heartstopper songs and what moment the song played, because originally I was gonna like load every single song on there, but then I realized that there's a lot of songs on there, so I'm just gonna pick and choose some of my favorite moments and like the song that correlates with it, so like when I listen to it I can be like picturing it in my head. Maybe that's a form of escapism and I should really get that looked into, but you know what, it's okay. This first one is the first song in the show, and even though I don't directly remember it, it's called Want Me by Baby Queen, and because it's the first one, I think it should be first on our list. I actually read the Heartstopper comics like long before they were super popular, kind of when they were just on Book Talk, and I read only the first one. I really liked it, but then I like borrowed it from my library, and then the second one wasn't there, and so I just kind of like forgot about it. But when I saw it on Netflix, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to watch it. So I started watching it, and then, guys, can we talk about Kit Connor? Can we talk about Kit Connor? Because slay. He slays. They all slay in that show. Like I could say that about all of them, but also like, and I love Heartstopper. I think it's a really good show for like baby gays. I think it's just really wholesome. I do think it's a little cringe sometimes, but aren't we all a little cringe sometimes? I know I certainly am. This very specific song, Alaska Toby Green remix by Maggie Rogers, is what's playing when they're trying to find each other at the party before they kiss, and I do like that scene. So I'm gonna put that there. And let's see, I don't want to put too many because I am scared of how long this might take. Ooh, okay, and there's a song called Flirting With Her, and this is when Tara and Darcy are like flirting with each other, and I love Tara and Darcy. So, okay, Darcy's haircut, I get what they were trying to do. I'm not a fan of mullets, but you know, it's okay, Darcy still slays. So there's a lot of Beepa Doobie songs I didn't even realize, and I really like Beepa Doobie. Okay, I found another Kiss song. It's called Moment in the Sun, and I really like the Kiss songs because like I love imagining kissing. I know that sounds bad. I just love love. So yeah, okay. I Belong in Your Arms. This is the last song in season 1. So I've made it through season 1 with only 5 songs, so that's good. That if we keep that up, it'll only be 15 songs, and that's like a playlist. Kind of. I am gonna be honest, I don't know a lot of songs in season 1 particularly. I do know more like later, so I might just add a couple because I know them. Oh my god, something really random I was talking about today is, this has nothing to do with anything, but it just reminded me. We were talking about what would happen if people died really slowly, like if it took like months to die from being murdered, and would that like stop a bunch of murders, or would like the murderers just be so crazy that like because that's the normal they would just like think, okay, it takes 3 months to kill a person, and then if like someone was off of work or like school for 3 months in particular, like that would be a really suspicious date. And we just really like got sucked into this weird tangent, and I'm now sucking you into it, and that sounds weird, so we're just gonna move on. Okay, I'm definitely putting Out of My League by Fits and the Tantrums. What a song. I love season 2. I think the French storyline in Heartstopper is so fun. I love it. I love Kit Connor. I really liked season 2, might have been my favorite season because as much as I like love season 1, they're also baby, but then in season 3, it's like, ooh, ouch. Like season 3 was just like crying, really. So kind of hard to say like that I loved it. But season 2, I feel like was a good middle ground. Like they still touched on some topics, but also it was kind of like a lot of fluff. So yeah, Heartstopper is like reading fanfiction. Not that I know from my extensive amount of reading fanfiction, but I definitely do. And I love it. Like it gives me such a visceral reaction. It's like really crazy actually. Like yeah, they cover some heavy topics in there, but also like they cover some really like just like mushy love fluff topics. It's very like angst and fluff. Like that's how I would tag it if it was a fanfiction. So okay, let's add the sound by the 1975 because like the reason I have an iPod is so I can listen to songs by canceled artists and not feel bad because I just ripped the song off of YouTube and I'm not giving them any money for streaming it. And I used to really embarrassingly love the 1975 and Maddie Healy, which I know is a red flag. So yeah, I like to listen to it, but also listening to it gives me such like horrible middle school flashbacks that I don't even know if it's really worth it to listen to them anymore. Like I kind of just don't. Okay, I don't remember this song specifically. It's called Foreplay. But it's apparently playing like when Tao and Elle arrive at the party, and I remember that party scene. It was kind of fun. They have so many parties. I am not that social. You could not catch me having as many parties as they all do, and I'm really surprised because I don't feel like a lot of them are extroverts. The way that they party in high school is kind of crazy. It's not like Euphoria crazy. It's just like, wow, for some nerds, y'all be partying. This is a French song, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but I'm going to add it to the list because this is when they arrive in France, and that's just so fun. That's just so fun. In other news, I'm currently filming late at night because there's a hurricane, and we're out of school, which is cool, but also, like, 2 hurricanes in, like, the span of a month is crazy and a little scary. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So distracting myself with Heartstopper. Okay, it's kind of hard for me to figure out exactly what's happening in some of these, so I think I'm going to just kind of add a couple of ones that like I don't fully know what's going on. Oh, this one is an MXMtoon song, and I love her. She's great. I follow her on TikTok, so I will put that on here as well. So I actually lost my iPod recently, and then I found it, and then I lost the charging cable, and then I found it again, and now, like, I feel bad because I haven't been using it. I do still want to use it, and I will take her out more. But, like, I basically thought I lost the charging cable, but instead I had actually found it and put it away in its correct spot, and every time I went to search there, I would just be like, oh, I know it's not here. I don't need to search hard. And then finally today I was losing my mind trying to find the cable. Turns out it was in the correct spot the whole time. A Weisha Project song, which is the band that Tao is in, I believe, like in real life, the actor. And my friend really likes them, so I will add that to my iPod. That is all of season 2. Now let's move on to season 3, which is the most recent season, and I have a lot of thoughts on this season, so like very mild spoilers ahead, maybe. Basically, like, ouch. This season is gutting. Like, ouch. I didn't mean to grab my boob there. I meant to grab my heart. Wait. My heart's over here, sorry. The start of the episode is The Way Things Go by Biba Doobie, and I do like this song, so we can go ahead and put this on the iPod. You know, like, it does occur to me that this is a very biased playlist, and that's okay because it's my iPod. I know Spotify has, like, the actual songs in order in a playlist, so, like, you know, obviously you can, like, peruse that, and I also will do that, but just to have with me, I'm just putting very subjective songs on here. So I actually just dropped $2,000. I know. But I bought a new camera, and this is the first video I'm filming on it, and I'm very excited because I do a lot of freelance stuff with my camera, so I am excited to have it. It needs a name, though, because $2,000 is a lot to not give it a name. Yeah, let me know if you have any ideas in the comments. I would love to hear. Maybe I should name it after a Heartstopper character.
Do you have a name for your wallet?
I don't. I feel like it's weird to name something you drink out of. Let me get a drink out of Kit Connor. Just kidding, I don't want to drink out of any of that. No, my water bottle is unnamed. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play this song that was playing in Charlie's earbuds on the beach, and I really liked it because not a lot of shows do that, and I feel like I'm always someone that's like listening to music and talking at the same time, and like when I heard it, I was just like, oh, this is so normal, and like, why have I never seen this in a TV or movie before? Like, okay, my problem with this is a lot of these songs are really sad because Charlie's going through a really rough time. But I really liked the mental health portrayal in this scene, and I loved like the talk that he had with his parents. It's hard sometimes to like think about like feeling bad and then asking for help, and then it's like hard to picture like what the actual asking for help looks like, so I think putting it like on screen was really helpful. Okay, and oh my god, I am putting Blue by Billie Eilish on there because when this scene happens and you hear this song and Nick is like talking to Charlie through the camcorder, I lost it. I actually lost it. Like that was mean. That was mean to watch. So I really want to see Billie Eilish in concert, but all her tickets are sold out. So if you have a ticket, let me know. But no, I really, really like her new album. I was like, you know, like mild Billie fan for a while, but then like this album came out and I was like, yes, yes. I also loved seeing Tori all the time as an older sister. You know, like I relate to Tori. I think she's great. And yeah, her storyline is fun. I love her friend. That's like, it's such a funny storyline. I'm definitely putting this song on here. I'll just read you what it says. Plays as Charlie removes his shirt in the locker room for rugby practice for the first time in front of Nick. Slay. Loki, should we put like the song where they like, you know, maybe. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize this was a Fizz song. I love Dodie and she's in this band. Okay, and then the last song is Million Reasons. So that should like round out my little playlist. Now I get to load all of these songs onto my iPod. So we're actually gonna go maybe to YouTube and, you know, like copy the link and put it into a YouTube to MP3 downloader. I know it makes the quality bad, but sometimes I don't care that much. I feel like listening to the iPod is more about the experience, less about like the audio file quality. If I really like wanted to listen to it really good, I'd probably just like put on a really good pair of headphones. So it's weird actually opening iTunes because I recently switched to Spotify after being a longtime user of Apple Music, and it's so much better. I actually do want to make a full video on this, but like the main thing is the audiobooks. I love the audiobooks, and like being able to put your playlist into folders and also being able to pin whatever you want to the top, because you actually cannot pin anything in Apple Music, at least when I used it 6 months ago. If you're wondering how my 20s are going, because I did just turn 20 in September, it's going good. I am scared, to be honest, because like it's scary out here to be 20. Sometimes I just sit here and think like being 16 was 4 years ago, because I still feel like a 16-year-old. I feel like I didn't really grow that much in between like 16 and 20. This song is giving me an error. Unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to skip this song. I was thinking about how a year ago I was seeing Chappell Roan in concert for a ticket that I paid $35 for. Isn't that crazy? I was so early to the Chappell Roan train. I think she's amazing and beautiful. And I really like the way she performs and her music. It's really cool. Actually, when I saw her, she has drag queens from every like local show open for her. At least she did when I saw her last year. And one of the drag queens that opened for my show was actually deaf and like did sign language while they were performing. It was really cool. All of these are coming up with no name, which is always fun when you get to manually name the songs every time. That's fun, right? Oh, my roommate made this little Lego figurine. Isn't he cute? I thought it was a dog. Turns out it's a sea lion, and I just broke it. I don't have the patience to deal with Legos. Yeah, or the coordination. Clearly. YouTube to MP3 converter. Oh, I want to know what you think of my British accent, because I actually think it's pretty good. And I want to know if it's convincing. Like, if you didn't know me, do you think I'm British? But Heartstopper obviously is very British, and I love that for them. But sometimes they're a bit too British, and I'm like, oh my goodness, did you just say that? Like, do people really say all that stuff? All that rubbish? I digress. I do feel that I have a decent British accent, and I do feel that's from watching so much Dan and Phil in my formative years. Oh my goodness, I am going to meet them soon. Maybe I can just ask them in person. Oh my god, that's so cool. I'm so excited. I actually just found this playlist on YouTube that has like the Heartstopper soundtrack. The Heartstopper soundtrack. Okay, I took a little snack break, but I am finally ready to upload all of these songs to iTunes. So all I do is drag and drop the files from my Mac to iTunes. Actually, for whatever reason, because I think I dragged them all in at the same time, it made its own album. And I think I'm just gonna keep it that way because I could make a playlist, but the thing is, like, I don't know where all of these songs would live if they don't live in this like album that's very specific to Heartstopper on my iPod. And I feel like this is basically just an album since I have the freedom to like literally name the album whatever I want. So I just called it Heartstopper Playlist, and yeah. And really quickly, I'm just gonna reorder it so it's in chronological order. I really liked doing this. This was super fun. I really want to do this with more artists because it's kind of hard to carve out a certain like time in day to like specifically add songs to my iPod. But I feel like at night is a good way to do it. And also just like doing it by artist is kind of fun because then like I get to deep dive into the artist and or like, you know, topic. Like this is obviously not its own artist, but like getting to deep dive into Heartstopper, which is like one of my favorite shows, and like talk about it in like some of my favorite contexts has been fun. I like the way that a lot of these characters come out in the show, like two different characters, but also I feel like you don't necessarily need to come out all the time. Like I feel like some things are just kind of implied and it should just be assumed that like not everyone is straight. Like you don't have to come out to every single person you meet. I feel like your sexuality is something that's like you don't need to disclose all the time, but if you want to, like more power to you. I'm also like super excited to listen to this on my iPod because I feel like a lot of these songs I don't know super well, and I'm excited to like get to know them through my iPod, which is something like I don't do a lot. A lot of the times I put on songs that I already know I love because I want to like experience them in different ways. But for this, it's kind of like cool that like my memories with these songs will be like one, watching the show, but also mainly like in my iPod. Hope you don't mind my blanket and the clear blow up beanbag. Yeah, it's really weird. It was only $20 at Target, so. Some of the metadata is so cool. Like the way that some of these songs just have like their album artwork and like song attached, and I don't even have to input it, is really cool. Oh my god, how could I forget to tell you? I went line dancing last night. Well, I went to a line dancing class and I'm really bad at it, but it's really fun. And we did a lot of line dance things. We did a line dance to Thriller. Yeah, and it was really fun. I am not the best dancer, admittedly, but sometimes, like, college is about doing things that you wouldn't normally do, so I definitely did that. Everything takes so long when you put music on an iPod. I do think the way they talk about high schoolers having sex, though, on Heartstopper is kind of wild. Like, almost all of them are having sex. I feel like that's not normal. I feel like it's like not unheard of for teenagers to have sex in high school, but also I don't feel like every single person in a friend group is likely to have all had sex. Yeah, and to date someone. Like, I feel like they're all just like dating someone with the exception of like 3 people. And that's like good for them. I'm glad that they found that. But like in one friend group, I've also been seeing a lot of stuff about their texts, which is like, they were better in the 3rd season than in the previous seasons. But yeah, their texts are a little inaccurate. Okay, I finally finished making the full playlist on my laptop, which is very exciting. Really quickly, I don't know if this will show up. Oh, you know what? It should show up. I'm going to put on a Heartstopper cover from Pinterest. So let's go to my happy place, aka Pinterest. Now let's type in Heartstopper. Fun fact, if you ever are on Pinterest and an image is not downloading big enough, click the view image button at the bottom left corner, and then from there, like, take your screenshot or download it. Okay, cute, and now it has its own little album / playlist thing. So, now is time for the fun / scary part, where we plug in my iPod and hope that everything transfers and my iPod doesn't spontaneously combust. So it wasn't working. So I clicked this button called autofill from, made it a playlist instead, and I think that worked. I think. It said syncing and it took longer than it did earlier, so let's eject it and see if it's on there. I don't think it's there. Maybe it's an album? Ooh. It worked! Oh my god, it's so cute! Okay, well, now we get to listen to it. Okay. I'm so excited! First song. It's working! I wish that my iPod didn't have the like line on it, but look, okay. It's so cute. Yay. Well, I'm so glad that that worked, and I had so much fun hanging out with you, chatting with you, and I hope that you stay safe if you're affected by the hurricane, and I hope that you binge watch Heartstopper and look at Kit Connor edits all night long. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye!
Do you have a name for your wallet?
I don't. I feel like it's weird to name something for your wallet. Let me get under kind of Kit Connor.